Welcome to Legends of Nikon, a series where we take a stroll down memory lane and pay our respects to epic glass of old. Today's honored guest is the Nikon 105mm DC f2, the industry dubbed Prince of Bokeh, because there is already a bigger king of bokeh. If you want to know how the DC works in both of these lenses, check out the video card up here where I covered the 135mm in the last episode. Let's dive into this one. 3 years after the launch of the 135mm DC lens, Nikon brings in the AF-DC Nikkor 105mm f2. Now, I've used both and I can't remember which one I liked more, but I think the 105 was the one I liked more. They both are just like so awesome. Incredibly, it was produced for 28 years from 1993 to 2021. Mirrorless cameras and lenses had already popped off. F-mount was already on its way out. That is how good it is. It lived all the way through the G series. The 105 has an optical construction of 6 elements in 6 groups. That's low, so you know the image quality is going to be fantastic, as was the case with most low element count lenses of the time. It's a rear focusing design with 9 curved aperture blades that weighs in at 22 ounces or 620 grams. It will focus at a minimum of 3 feet or a meter, and its dimensions are 4.4 long by 3.1 inches in diameter or 111 by 79 millimeters. A nifty addition is the built-in lens hood, which I kind of miss those. You don't get a lot of cool, quirky things like that much anymore. You just get like plastic lens hoods that clip on. It's just not the same. While this lens appears to be plastic at first glance, it definitely isn't. What you see is a textured coating on top of metal, which I also miss in modern lenses. These older lenses can seriously take a beating. If you want more detail about what the DC lenses do, again, check out the video card I put up earlier. Only after you finish this video. Right now, I want to jump over to Flickr to see what other people are shooting with this lens. But first, if you're looking for this lens or something like it, check out the link in the description first. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help this channel keep pumping out content full steam ahead. Okay, so we're over here at the Flickr of the Nikon 105mm f2D AF-DC. And I just briefly saw some shots while I was pulling this up and before I hit record. And we either have absolute insanity of a lens or we just have the most talented photographers ever choosing to shoot with this lens. This shot right here, absolutely stunning. This is either on film or this is a skillful edit. Doesn't say, kind of reminds me of like a Fujifilm. And then, my gosh, this is like a 20% Dragon edit. Look at the separation. It's just absolute. This is a gorgeous shot. Same guy, Andreas. Of course, like I knew I was going to see a ton of portraits, but you know, same guy. Andreas Norstedt. A lot of talent, my friend. Got some decent range of tones in the black and white. Okay, looks like I was just looking at one individual's Flickr, and that was Andreas. Excellent work over there. But now we can get into the bigger pool where there are many more images and we can see a lot more. Okay, lots of contrast on this lens. It really does like pop out at you, all this contrast. Okay, now we're seeing some beautiful backgrounds going on here. Someone calls this the poor man's plena. It might be. We go with a fantastic black and white. Really sharp. Shot on the Nikon D800 at f8. Looks great at f8. I'd have to go step by step to see what the diffraction is like, but it looks great in the studio. Oh man, that's a good shot. That's on an f5. Zach, you don't need this for your f5. You don't need this for your f5. You don't need this for your f5. I need this for my f5. No! All right, now here we have a shot where we can see the different ranges of tones in black and white. We got some absolute whites, we got some blacks. We do have detail in the darker areas as well, and we just have like hundreds of different grays. So I would give this a high mark in black and white ability. Look at that, we're doing some bug stuff too. I need one more to absolutely blow my face off. And I didn't know that this would be the one, but this is the one. I absolutely love the lighting in this image. This says nothing about the lens really. I mean, we do have really great detail and sharpness, like the follicles on the neck. but this is just an excellent lighting job. Really, really cool. This is the kind of stuff I like to do in the studio. Make sure you guys go over to Flickr and show all of these photographers some love. This was a great era of Nikon lens making. Things like this, you know, the DC control, the wild kind of crazy innovations that we don't see too much anymore. There's such a focus on optical perfection that there doesn't seem to be much room left to really explore with other improvements or innovations. Now don't get me wrong, I appreciate a modern lens that is sharp at f1.2, and at f1.2, I probably don't need any control of the out of focus areas, but there's such excitement and crazy innovations that you get on the DC Nikon 105mm f2D, and that's why it's a legend. I'm Z-Wade, the Z-Wade, and Z-Wade Photo. Stay legendary. Nikon brings in the AF-DC Nikon 105mm f2S. What? Three years after 9 curved aperture blades that weighs 9 curved aperture blades, and it weighs